Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team's currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 175. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now without further ado, let's get started. First up, Christopher Groff has dug up WINGAMES /strategy/CELLWAR. For some reason, I can't help but think this is going to be like some kind of, what do you call it? Sort of like a game of life. You know, with the cellular algorithm, does all those funky patterns and stuff. But in any case, we got BWCC right there, so that means it's a Borland C written. We got file ID.diz. CELLWAR 1.0, play against another person or against a dumb or smart computer opponent. Place organisms on grid to dominate the board. Author Al Funk. Hey, haven't we seen that name before? Actually, one thing that's kind of interesting here in the text file for this, it says no fee in excess of $5 may be accepted for distribution of this program. Modification expressly prohibited. But the thing is that this is kind of stunting the progression of your software. Well, sort of. Like, I mean, something that happened in the 80s and also the early 90s was that software vendors would just take shareware games and just distribute them as like just single games and then try to make money off of that. But it's like they don't own the game because it's just a shareware copy. So some people took issue with this, naturally, and just made it and just had, you know, little things saying you can't accept money for the distribution or can't accept excess of, and also registration was only $5. Also, the guy only wants you to try it for 10 days and no longer. Not that anybody ever did this, like limit themselves by days like that, but that's kind of a very short period of time. Okay, I'm actually looking in the help file here, and yeah, this is basically a two-player version of the game of life, where where you're basically trying to compete for progression on the board. So like right here, it's saying it's already starting off. It looks like it's not going to be life algorithm related, but it totally is. Well, that's neat. You can actually set how big the board is. Like, what's the highest we can do? Horizontal too large, vertical too large. Okay, so what did it actually set to then? 25 by 20 seems to be the maximum size. Although it is a bit big, so let's just do 12 by 12 like it had it. And I'll play against a dumb computer opponent. Yeah. So here is our starting grid. Oh, actually this isn't exactly like the life algorithm. It's similar, but it seems right here that cells will stay alive just by touching at least one other friendly cell. So it's not an exact copy of the rules of life. So this should be interesting. So I'm going to put my piece, or take my move, I should say, because I assume I'm playing green right now. So let's try right here. And free cells, I believe, is the number of cells you can place before it does a generation of it. Oh, I guess free cells is its number of extras. So now it's going to go after I make a move, I think. Yep, there it went. So I'm going through this now. This doesn't seem like it's the smartest algorithm they could have done here. Because it basically like formed a wall here. And there's not really much I can do about that. Just sort of cut into it. Yeah, it's basically like a stalemate situation here. There's nothing I can do. And you can't remove opponent tiles. Okay, so you have to pass. Okay. So basically you could pass your turn instead of placing something. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's the greatest algorithm for this kind of game. Because the way it's working, like part of the reason why the life algorithm works so well is because there's a lot of variation in what happens. The cells form and go away so easily that it creates all these sort of motions and patterns and stuff. But it's hard to mess with that without ending up in a situation where the algorithm just explodes outwards. And that's kind of what's happening with this particular one. So yeah, basically all I'm doing is I'm finding spots where I can put a piece, which will create a group of 3. And that just basically lets me sort of expand outwards. And yeah, this is this is not very intuitive. The games do not last long because this literally did not take that many moves to get to this point. And you can't really do anything about it. Like, it's very hard, it's very difficult to explain, but it's basically, once you see what the board is like, you pretty much already have an understanding of how the game is going to go. You can't really mess with it to any great degree because the algorithm is basically just explode outwards. So if you know how to utilize that, then, well, you've pretty much won. You know what, let's just try it on the smart AI. Let's see if that makes a difference here. Yeah, so this is basically turning out exactly as I expected it to. And yeah, you can see interesting effects happening. Like this section here, with every round, is changing sort of the inside active and inactive. This really is not the best algorithm for a game like this. Granted, I did lose this time by just a few cells, but the point is that there's not really any strategy here. Like, there's not much of a strategy anyways, because everything just explodes outwards. Like, obviously you do have to put your pieces smartly, but after the first few rounds, it's like, that's it. You know how it's going to progress. So yeah, that was unregistered evaluation copy. Not really, that was actually CELLWAR. It's just for some reason it doesn't show the title on the actual window. Yeah, this is, I guess for $5 it's interesting, but yeah, I can't say this is worth more than just a couple or 3 plays. Next up, the great Codeholio has dug up DOSGAMES /arcade /DBDARE. I'm gonna guess a warez copy of DBDARE. Like, I mean, DBDARE just comes across to me like that's what it's gonna be. It's the right time frame, 1988. Although there's a couple 1991 files here, which, I don't know, that's kind of weird. But anyways, DARE. Yep, exactly what I was expecting. So DBDARE was a game show that you can see right there, MTV Networks. And then they decided to make a game out of it. And apparently we have some PC speaker music. Would you like to play against the computer? Sure. Are you turning champion? Nope. Male or female? We'll be male. Would you like another player? No. Please enter your team name. Estigs? I don't know. Okay, so first up we have the toss-up challenge. We like to play golf on DBDARE, but we lost all our golf balls, so you'll have to use eggs. The first team to put 2 eggs into the cup wins control of the questions. So yeah, the whole idea with DBDARE game show was that you had these weird and wacky challenges that you had to go through. And then I believe at the end of the show, the winning team had to go through this crazy obstacle course sort of thing. It is a very, very out there show for a game. Like, I know game shows are usually pretty out there to begin with, but this one was like way out there. So I'd suggest looking it up online to see just how crazy it was. Okay, so basically it just seems like we're just putting. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, that went very quickly. I had no idea how the golf mechanics were working there. And yeah, there's also a questions round on DBDARE, so it'll be interesting to see what the questions are like here. Then, of course, the computer's playing right now, so they get to answer the questions and get the money for it. Who is the god of war? I actually know that. That was Mars. And yeah, the idea is you could dare the other team to answer a question, but then they get, like, double the cash if they get it right. and control of the questions. I think it was the official one spoken by the people of New Zealand. The official language... yeah. I've just assumed it was going to be English, because, you know... How is a Manx cat different from other cats? Has no tail, its eyes are different colors, it has 3 legs. Has no tail. Well, so far they seem to be mostly general knowledge questions. What did Chester Greenwood invent in 1873? Suddenly we've got history. Oh boy. So I'm guessing DARE is like the... Which key is it for DARE? No? I have no idea what key to push for daring. Well, apparently it was earmuffs, though. Which president of the United States appointed Nelson Rockefeller as his vice president? I'm not a history person, but, you know, Gerald Ford. Sure. Okay, so now we have another challenge here. So, toss-up challenge, hungry clowns. Our Double Dare clowns are hungry and you'll get to feed them. The first team to get 3 eggs in the clown's mouth wins control of the questions. Green player uses the left shift key. Red player uses the right shift. Control your player and start your color bar. Press it. Wait, is this just the exact same mechanics? So yeah, was the exact same mechanics there. Although at least I was able to figure out like which power and angle worked for that. So it's actually weird how that control works. You have to hold the key down and it starts going up. You let go and it starts going down, and then you press it again to get your angle. Anyways, I think we get the general idea of it. So Double Dare was a game show. It was crazy. It was fun. The video game adaptation here for PC seems... it seems watered down. Like, I mean, well, you're converting a game show into a video game. Like, it's generally not going to be easy to translate the feel of a game show in that manner. It's something I talked about when I covered Wheel of Fortune on the show. So, yeah, it's like, it's fine. It's just not as good as the game show itself, you know. And our last dig for today comes from RuneFox. DOSGAMES /KIDGAMES /BCCC32. Like, I mean, BCC would be Borland C compiler, but BCCC in the KIDGAMES folder. Not quite sure what to expect here. Well, apparently there's a readme.first, so let's check that out. Edit readme.first. Bert's Christmas. Congratulations, you have a trial shareware copy of Bert's Christmas, which now includes voice. Uh-oh. Bert's Christmas is an enjoyable coloring program for children of all ages, but especially for these young children with a computer. Why do I get the feeling that we've... Wasn't there like a Bert's Dinosaurs thing or something like that had extremely terrifying PC speaker voice to it? And was a coloring program? So is this going to be like the same thing except Christmas? Are we going to have the terrified voice again? Well, the bad news is the horribly compressed voice is still present. The good news is that it's not terrifyingly screaming at us anymore. So there is that. But yeah, this is basically the same program as before. It's just we have different images. So we could have like a Christmas tree. And then maybe put like, I don't know, put Santa. What size of Santa Claus do we want? I'll put him right here. And apparently he's, well, the perspective's all off, but I don't care. And then we can color it. We can make the tree, nice red tree. Why not? I give it a... What kind of... Oh, I find it interesting how it doesn't let you use the color black. Probably because it's using that to determine, like, where all the fill lines are and everything. So Santa Claus is green, because he's a bit sick. And he's also going to have, a blue beard. Blue everything. Yeah, we're just going to... blue everything. Blue everything. What's our story? Our story is Santa Claus decided to make a tree red, but because it was so red and he wasn't, he decided to make everything blue using blue everythings. The end. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, it's another one of those, it's another coloring program thing. I guess because of how fast this went, let's just bask in the voices. So let's listen to some of these. I barely understood that. That's a sleigh? Oh. Okay, I was about to say, it was hard to tell, but, like, I mean, that's just a jumbled mess at the smallest size. So, yeah, now that I have a whole mess of, images up in the corner there, I think that's enough out of this program. For what it is, it's a very basic coloring program, so if that's what you want to get your kid, and you don't think they'll be scared off by the terrifying voice, then you're fine. And again, yeah, I'm aware the voice is only terrifying because it's bit crushed to the nth degree and playing over the PC speaker. If it was actually, like, properly recorded and all that, I'm sure the kid would sound totally fine. I have to wonder, though, where that... Because that kid would have been, because it's definitely a kid's voice. Like, let's just assume they were, like, 6 or 7 years old when this game was made. They would be more like 30 now? Probably more than that. So, yeah, I wonder what they think about how they sound in this little game here.